All right, guys, this is Jay with Opkee Investors, and today we want to talk about not only the broker. Oanda is, and I think that's the way you pronounce it, but this is one of the brokers that are in the U.S. And as you well know, if you're trading Forex, in the US is a totally different experience than our offshore brokers. And number one is they have what they call FIFO rule, is first in, first out. You can go ahead and you can Google that, look it up, and that's going to tell you a lot. But the main thing, the main problem that I have with it is, as a robot trader, as an algorithmic trader, as an EA trader, very few are programmed to handle FIFO rules. Okay, so we found one that claims to do just that, but I don't know if it works well on a US broker, only because of the spreads and the commissions, things of that nature. So we're putting it to the test. So far, so good. I ran into a couple of problems, so I'm going to reset it. Now, the problem wasn't the EA, but I decided to test two EAs on one account. I'm removing that one EA, and I'm going to go with the Prado EA. I think, again, that's the way you pronounce it, by itself. So let me walk through it and show you some of the results that we've gotten based on the set files that we are using. Of course, guys, just go ahead and review this. This is our system of how we test EAs and how we determine if they're going to work or should they just be rejected or not. So let's talk about this then. We're going to review two in one, the broker and the EA, the Prado EA. Here are the claims. The Prado EA, now this is on regular offshore brokers with regular rules, with hedging and things of that nature and very high leverage. But they say that it can make up to 10% a month or more with FIFO rules in place. It's fully automated, runs 24/7. Cool thing about that is you can test it with as little as $100. It only trades one pair, and that's the dollar yen. So that's going to be really cheap for the group testing, and we do have some custom set files for that. The problem is there's absolutely no proof that it works with a US broker, so that's what we're here to find. Before we get started, guys, make sure that you know that we are not financial advisors. I've got to say that over and over again. This shit is dangerous. We're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. We're just a shared resource group where together we test different EAs, different signal services, and see exactly what can match our temperament that we can potentially add to our own personal portfolios. Now, guys, here's the platform here, and as you can tell, we started testing this with $1,000 and it's down $861. So it looks like that it's a loss, but as I said in the beginning, we traded this with another EA, and that other EA did not perform as well as the Prado EA, Prado EA, and I'm going to show you exactly what it would have looked like if this was only the Prado EA. Let's go to my FX book, a little bit more detail. Now, this is where we use for our tracking. Our primary third party is my FX book, so you really can't get anything about around them unless you're really trying to. But you guys, anyone that's in our group, you're testing it on your own anyways, and this happens to be in our shared resource group, this very MT4 EA. So let's take a look at it. So it doesn't look that promising because, as you can see, we started this in February, and you see a gain of negative 12 or 13%. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Let me show you. We started this with $1,000. Now, if you go down to the summary, this is going to show all the trades. Now, remember, I said that this only trades the US yen. That's it. That's the only thing it trades. So if we go down here, we see that it was relatively successful. as you can see. This says that the total profit was $70, 79 cents. So what is that? 7% gross. So that's not bad for a couple of months, especially if we want to stay very conservative. Okay. Now let's look at the others. Let's look at all these losers. These losers came from an EA called Boring Pips. Boring Pips. And it was a disaster, at least running them at the same time. What I found out, it had a hedging component to it, even though it was first in, first out, FIFO, but it had a hedging component to it, and there are several trades that couldn't be placed. And there were too many trades, potential trades, and therefore it challenged the margin restrictions as well. So once we take this and put it back, which is $91 loss, this is a $113 loss, and then we take this back out, which is a $5 gain that we weren't going to keep, that had nothing to do with the Prado. That still gives us a 6% gain. That's $1,060. $1,060. So this particular EA was successful by itself, but not with these. So this is Prado, right? And this was Boring Pips. Boring Pips was a disaster. Now, that doesn't mean that the Boring Pips is not as successful. We're going to put that one on another offshore broker just to see how it performs by itself. Again, with U.S. brokers, everyone knows what I'm talking about. If you're a U.S. trader, you're not going to get the same results because of all the limitations and rules for U.S. brokers. All right. So guys, we're going to reset this at $1,000 and let's see what it does for us. Go out there and make some real money. Just a quick update.